marriage in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Yes, we're selfish like that. We like to pray. We pray for ourselves. We want to be the first partaker. Yeah, that's what the Bible says. The husbandman is the first partaker. So if we're the one bringing this word to you, we want to partake. You know, it's better, I discovered over the years, when you become what you preach. Just because you practice what you preach. It's easier when you preach from a place of revelation. And what is revelation? That you know this thing, you have put it to use, and it has worked. So it's no longer just letter. The letter killeth. Now it's spirit, it's life, it's alive. So the things you're preaching about, when it's alive in your own life, when you relate it to others, it's real. You know, you're passionate about it. You're not just talking because you read something. So that's our desire, that we become first partakers. So financial intimacy is what we're talking about. I read a quote before. It says, money-related issues in marriage can draw a husband and a wife closer together. Meaning, marriage-related issues in marriage can tear a husband and wife apart, far apart. And we see that a lot in poor families, in middle-class families, and in very rich families. In every cadre, every sphere, every class of marriage, money-related issues can tear a family apart. Just the same way that money-related issues can draw a family closer together. Money-related issues can bring intimacy into your marriage. All right? So I'll just let my wife do an intro, then we'll delve into, we'll talk about like 10 points that this can help. Like I said, we might have to do this for 2-3 days so that we can exhaust it, because it's very important. Yeah.
So common complaints about money in marriage are, my husband and I are never on the same page with money. My wife wants to tithe.
Okay, I'm just going to take it slow. There are different complaints, so don't read it together. Let's take it again.
Okay, so the first one is, my husband and I are never on the same page with money. The second one is, my wife wants to tithe, but I don't think we can afford it.
Okay.
My husband keeps doing business deals that cost our family a lot of money.
Wow. It's scratching me. Yeah.
My wife keeps buying things for our kids even though we cannot afford it. Not surprisingly, money fights are one of the leading causes of divorce. I believe financial tension in relationships can be improved, if not alleviated. If couples commit themselves to following these 10 things, we're going to talk about to improve financial intimacy in marriage.
So these are suggestions. They are not it's not the rule. Stay on the list. It's not like this is everything. There could be more, and you know, for some, we'll get to that point where you can also seek, you know, help from professionals on how to, you know, manage finances better. Okay, so you've gone too far now. Stay on the list. All right, so there are a few things in the intro that we would like to, you know, throw more light upon. We have said a lot of things coming this far. So now there's this complaint that I saw that caught my attention. It says, my wife wants to tithe, but I don't think we can afford it. You know, for me, this even shows more of belief system. You know, you don't believe, maybe the wife believes in tithing, the husband doesn't believe in tithing. You know, so some of these things, they are quite really fundamental. It's not simple. If two of you are not on the same page from the beginning, it may never work. So if you believe in tithing, marry someone who believes in tithing. Yeah, don't marry someone who doesn't believe he can't afford it, but he's earning. You understand? You can't give out a 10% of and work and live on the 90%. I don't think if you can't give out the 10%, the 90 will even be enough for you. It's not a problem of not being able to afford. It's a problem of poor management. You not being able to manage properly, resources available to you, which if you're a believer, you know that it is God who makes it possible for those resources to come into your hands. So if you don't believe that you can afford to give 10% and live on the other 90, it's the problem is deeper than that money. There's something behind it. So, but we're not going to go into that. But marry someone that has has common shared beliefs with you. That's an aside. So we're just going to go quickly into 10 suggestions. Remember, there are suggestions. We believe they can work for you. Even as we speak about it, we already talked about trying some of it, which we haven't been trying, and we have had strain financially in our marriage because we have different ideas how money should be managed. And then when things go south, of course, one person has to take the blame. Okay, if it's because of the way you chose to spend it and things go south, I'll say, okay, I told you. And then if I'm the one, she will not say, okay, you don't listen to me. So money issues can cause, money is a leading cause of divorce. Money. We have dealt exhaustively with sex. Now we're talking about money. Money is also a leading cause of divorces. All right, so 10 ways to improve your financial intimacy in marriage. Yeah, go ahead.
The first one says pray for guidance and wisdom. Few couples invite God into their financial lives. I think God has some amazing things he can do with our finances if we allow him into the process. Marriage is always a joint relationship between a husband, a wife, and God.
Yeah, a threefold cord. Remember, that's how the Bible describes it, a threefold cord. And you know, this broadcast we're doing, it's for Christian marriages. Okay, so when we talk about bringing God should be in everything, especially your finances. You know, some people were shocked we were talking about sex as open and practical as we're talking about it. It's because God is involved. God created it. So God must be involved. So if we're ashamed to talk about the things that God is in, then something is wrong. God is involved with your sexual life. That's why we're able to talk about it freely and openly. Now we're saying make sure that God is a part of the financial process in your marriage. Yeah, go ahead.
Pray that God will allow you to put marriage above any individual concern in how he wants the funds.
Okay, let's take it slow. Take it one by one. Take note of it. First, it says, pray that God will allow you to put the marriage above any individual concerns. Let him give you the grace, the strength to do that. Maybe you're not used to that. We're naturally selfish. We're selfish beings. So, but pray that God will give you this strength and control to put your marriage above your individual concerns. What's the second one?
Ask God to guide you in how he wants the funds earned.
Awesome. Earned, used, and distributed. God is interested in how you earn money. Pray God can open your eyes to new openings and ventures, investments that will profit you. So pray for God to guide you on how he wants the funds to be earned, to be
portion of humility, so you can be prepared to accept God's guidance.
Yeah.
Plead with God to give you the necessary strength to release control of your money and give God control. Yeah.
There's a scripture there, James 1:5. Yeah, read it.
If any of you lack wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him.
You see that? So,
So
money requires wisdom.
Yeah, guidance and
earning money, using money, distributing money. You need God's wisdom on how to earn, on how to spend, on how to invest, on how to save, on how to give. So you need God, and James 1:5 put it very well. If you need this wisdom, ask God. He doesn't criticize. That's what one translation says. He won't criticize you that, look at this man with his Harvard degree. He doesn't have wisdom. Or, okay, have you finished running now? Now you're coming. Do you know how humans are? God is not like that. He doesn't criticize you. He said, give me wisdom on how to, be a better manager of my finances. And he will do it without criticizing you. Go ahead.
So the second one says, be partners.
Okay.
Marriage is an amalgamation of all the pieces of life. The husband and the wife lose their individual identity and become one. So I is dropped from the vocabulary and replaced with we. The married couple no longer uses my, but our. This includes finances. Every dollar, naira brought into the home belongs to the home. Every money that goes out the door is money that the household spends. All functions of individual finances. Forget about who bought what. It doesn't matter who first signed the loan. From now on, we're in this financial situation together. We have an equal responsibility and an equal opportunity.
Equal responsibility, equal opportunity.
That's not a very easy place to be, especially when we're talking about money. Equal responsibility.
Okay, now let me clear this. When we say equal responsibility, it doesn't mean that we're supposed to contribute the same amount. Do you understand? Of course, we'll get to that point where you guys will have to talk about it. You know, if she earns at all, but some people are full-time housewives. Now, in that situation, Mr. Husband, don't look down on her like you're the one bringing in all the money. So what? She's the one. That's a lot of work. Try keeping the home yourself. Let her go to work for 1 week while you keep the home. Then you realize how much work that is. So try, like we said in this part where we said ask God, you need a double portion of humility, especially men. When it comes to money matters, you need double portion of humility, and if you ask God, He will give it to you. So if your wife has agreed to be full-time, which is a beautiful thing, which is a blessing, in this end time where everybody is under to go do something, there are some women who feel that that is a call. This is what they can do best. You know, stay home and invest their life into raising the children, keeping a beautiful home. It doesn't lazy and that they can't earn. So men who are married to such women, stop thinking down, stop thinking low about them. It takes courage to be full-time. Do you understand? They have hopes and dreams and all that, and they are putting it together just so that you have all the freedom to fly. Do you know that's why they're doing that? Because if your wife is not full-time, she also go to work to earn, do you know that you will also be put under pressure to contribute to the keeping of the home, raising of the children more? Even though she's the house, you still have to do that. But if your wife also goes out there to look for money, you will have to give more time to the home. So now she's doing everything and allowing you to fly. Don't look down on her. Don't ever say that. So this still affects you. You and the wife should still discuss, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. We're partners in this. Equal responsibility. That doesn't, translate to equal amounts. Okay? Same thing, madam, if you're the one earning higher, equal responsibility might mean you bringing in more money. Yes, at the time. Yeah, Mr. Man should aim to get there. You're the head of the family. You're the one who provides and all of that. But now what we're discussing now, you're the one who is earning more money. You should discuss and see how all of that should be put into you. So sometimes equal responsibility might mean the woman bringing in more money because she earns more. Do you understand? Yeah. So sometimes it goes. So when we hear equal responsibility, the men shouldn't be afraid that, oh, okay. Or the men shouldn't rejoice that, okay, no problem, 50-50 now.
Yeah, but you just said the woman is earning more.
That's what I said. When in situation where the woman earns more, yes, she can bring in more to the table. But in many situations, the men, in fact, in the regular African situation, the men earn more. So the woman can take on some little things just so that the husband can concentrate on. But this should be in agreement. We'll get to that point where we both agree on who should do what. I just needed to clear that when you hear equal responsibility, it doesn't mean it's you bring 5 million, I bring 5 million. It doesn't have to be that way.
Scripture.
Yeah.
For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and they will become one flesh. Okay, so that takes us back to where he started talking about
no longer
I,
now it's we.
Now it's we,
Yeah.
even when it has to do with your finances. So number 3 says define goals. Goal setting is a form of practical dreaming, and who doesn't like to dream about what the future could be? This goal setting is not just about finances, but it's about all things in life. Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? What do you want people to say about your life accomplishments? Goal setting is where a husband and a wife look at each other and say, where do we want to be in 5, 10 years, 15 years? Husband and wife then look at the financial implications of those goals they have jointly set. Yeah, and if a husband and a wife have separate goals, it will be nearly impossible to have financial intimacy in marriage. Yeah, so it's very important that they both, define
and define their goals on what they want. You know, it's just like what I've been saying. Imagine where maybe the husband is a contractor, and maybe once in a year, sometimes once in 2 years, he brings in 100 million, and then the wife regularly earns 250K. Do you understand? Now they can both look at it, and now while the husband is chasing his contract, trying to bring in that 100 million once in a year, they can agree that, okay, every month your 250 comes in handy, services the home and a few things. And then when the 100 million comes in, this is what we want to buy a house in so and so area in the next 10 years. This is where we want to move. Right now we're paying rent. Okay, we're going to live in this rented apartment for another 5 years. And then we go maybe buy a land or buy an apartment with it. Do you understand? So that when Oga's 100 million comes, 50 million goes into maybe buying the property and starting it. Another 50 million goes into maybe creating a trust fund for the children's education, capital projects and all of that.
Basically, it's just for them to agree and understand.
But the agreement has to stem from goals you have set. You know, that's like creates a structure where you can now say, this is what goes here, this is what goes here. So while we're waiting for the capital to do this, let this one be servicing the everyday area bit by bit. You understand? Yeah, so set goals. Because if you don't have goals and you just sit there and say, okay, your own should be, it might be forever. You just you know, recline into your chair and allow her to service the home.
You having personal goals, right? But as a couple, you should have
couple goals, financial goals. Yeah, read the scripture.
Scripture, Matthew 12:25. So Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined. Okay.
And every city or household divided against itself will not stand. This is very important. Let's just pause and, you know, talk more. It's so important. So important. We've been there a lot. We've been there for so many years. Understand? And we're just trying to walk out of it right now. It is so important. And it really creates intimacy when, okay, for us, what we discover was that she's a better manager. Even though I fought it because of my ego, where I'm coming from and all of that. And then I have maybe 300K comes in and I'm saying, okay, take 50K and run things. And before you know it, out of the remaining 250, I don't even know how I spent 150 to 200. And I sit and I say, how did this even happen? You understand? And then I'm telling myself, next time I'll do better. Next time I'll do better. And I never get to do better. So how do I come out of it? I agree. I acknowledge that, see, you're not a good manager of resources. Maybe you're ostentatious. Maybe you're extravagant. I had to, you know, a wise man said, be hard on yourself and life will be easy on you. If you're easy on yourself, life will be hard on you. So I had to tell myself the truth that, see, you're not a good manager of resources. So what happens? When it comes, I have 300K and I say, okay, 300K just came in, or let me have 15K there for my pocket this week, or 10K for my pocket this week. And I discovered that it works better. You understand? It works better because I came from where man is alpha male, the alpha and omega. And when she earns, she has to tell you. So now that I know that she has the habit of, okay, this thing just came in, I used 10K to buy this for children of her own money, and she's accounting to me, and I'm not accounting to her. So what I do is now I push all the funds to her because she's already used to accounting to me, even with her own money that I shouldn't have. We were taught I shouldn't have a business, but we're changing that thought, and we'll come to that. You know, she accounts it. She's okay. I just did this job. I did this for the office, and the other one, okay, because I was waiting, I used it for the house. She's always used to doing that. So now what I do is I push everything and allow her to even give me. It doesn't do any harm. It's our money. What she earns is our money. What I earn is our money. Now it helps. What I was afraid of, what I was thinking will puncture my ego. In the long run, it's beginning, but I already see results. I'm already seeing results that we can look back and say, okay, we have something. We never used to have savings, never. And then I'll sit down and say, in the past 3 months, see you. I'll tell her, say, do you realize that in the past 3 months we've had almost over 3 million pass through our hands, and we don't have 10,000 naira in savings? You understand? So I had to come to tell myself the truth and say, okay, you're not the right person for this. You can go out and earn, and you know how to earn, or go out, earn, but whatever you earn, let it come through. And then she manages it better. And then if I see that she's trying to get extravagant, I say, hey, I'm the one that gave you that money, don't try me. You understand? So there's checks and there's balance. So what would work for you, Mr. Man, with all the ego? Are you a spendthrift? Are you, when money comes into your hand, you're Mr. Generous? Someone posted something today that you shouldn't show off outside until everyone in your house is not hungry. So people should not be angry inside your home and you're outside being Messiah, being generous. No, you haven't taken care of your home. You shouldn't go outside there to just show off like you're this generous man and all of that. No, take care of your home. So that it works. It's working for me. I have learned that. We're building on it and all of that. So like Jesus said, a kingdom divided against itself, even in finances. Many of us don't get the import of this marriage thing. You're married to this person, you should be accountable to them. Like I said, it doesn't matter if she's a full housewife. It's such a big task to be a full housewife in this day and age.
The reason why a lot of people are not, this accountability thing is not easy. Well, it's like you said, anyway, we're talking about Christian marriages, but there are Christian marriages who also are not, this is not easy for them. I was talking about somebody who came by my office today looking for a job. Did I finish telling you that story? And then I asked, what have you been doing? I asked, what have you been doing? And then she said, okay, I got your number on the vacancy sheet long ago, but I just saved the number. So I'm looking for the job now. And I asked her, so what have you been doing? And then she said, I was taking care of, my sister opened a provision shop that her husband doesn't know about. So I have been the one managing the shop.
Fronting for her.
Do you understand? And I'm like, So now that you want to leave the shop, who will manage it for your sister? Do you understand? And though I didn't ask if they were born again and all that, but you see, I've heard about even Christian couples who do things like this. So their husband don't know. So it's not easy when you say they are now one, or a kingdom divided against itself will not stand. I think
trust issues.
Yeah, from
trust
where they are
issues.
Coming from, they don't think, okay,
issues.
let me make my own money. Or I don't know where this man will wake up from this morning and now say this, that, and you're hiding it. As
it baffles me sometimes. So why do people marry? Is it just for the pressure?
But in this case, it's sharp. In this case, it's sharp. Maybe the husband who has now done somehow, who might trying to protect herself.
Yeah, it's possible she doesn't have security, so now she's trying to see in case there will be a fallback. But it's so wrong. It's so wrong. People should marry because you're mature, not because you're under pressure to be Mr. or Mrs. With all the trust issues, you don't trust the person that you call husband or wife, the one you live with morning, afternoon. It's such a big thing. It's so dangerous. So anybody can wake up and kill the other person. Do you understand? All the baggage you're coming with from the past, you don't trust them, you're earning money that they don't know about, they are earning money and you don't know about, or they're earning money and they're just blatantly not telling you about it, like, mind your business, I'm taking care of you and all of that. I had an very interesting fellowship in Lagos on Sunday night too, and the dear friend who was talking to us said, his wife came to him and confronted him and said, you hate me. And he laughed. I said, I hate you. And you live in my house. You eat my food. Obviously, he's 100% provider. You drive good cars. You go on vacations and all of that. I like this kind of hatred. Somebody should come and hate me like this. Somebody that will hate me and be providing all of these things for me. So for him, he believes making those provisions is an expression of love already. But she doesn't see it that way. Probably she's seeking attention, she's seeking affection, she's seeking for his time. Before he even got to that subject, we had already talked about some other things. And obviously the guy likes his space. And he wants her to understand that, see, we're married though, but you are you, I am me. Be yourself, let me be myself. I don't have issues. I'm not interested in other people.
Don't. It's another...
Yeah, he feels like, adults, I'm adult. I married you because I love you. So that shouldn't be an issue. My not spending time with you shouldn't, translate to you thinking, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm faithful. I honor you and all of that. So I like my space. Respect your space, I respect my space. Ball, I ball.
Actually,
As long as we're not cheating.
I think that's
But-
a full.
But you know, that's him. But now that you're in marriage, you have to adjust. Even at that time, we're telling him he can't continue living like that. That's the same mindset he came into the marriage with. So he had, what grounds has shifted? None. If you have been in marriage for so long and you haven't shifted any grounds, your selfishness is epic. You must have shifted grounds. But if she's feeling that way, like, you know, if your wife feels that she needs your affection, she needs your attention, she needs to go on vacation with you and all of that, you should know that for her is important, and then you must adjust. So
She said, yeah,
it
that
has to do with trust. Yeah, I mentioned that
it's trust issues.
Trust
But
issues.
it's just disheartening, especially when it happens in a Christian marriage. You know, because I've actually heard about it happening in Christian marriages also. Yeah, so you see that there are also some husbands or wives in Christian marriages that do this. They have accounts, they have things going on, they have houses, they have bought lands. But I know some have bought lands and all those things.
Okay, this is taking us into another dimension now.
This is actually, you know, what we're talking about here. It's
Now,
not
when we're saying Christian marriage, really, there's nothing like Christian marriage. We're talking about people who profess to be Christians that are married, because marriage is marriage.
marriage is marriage.
You understand?
Yeah,
Now we're talking about two professing Christians. You know, so a lot of
two
times
people
yes.
with God in the middle. That's how it started this. With
Yes.
God in the middle.
Yes.
So we're actually supposed to be respecting and
Yes,
honoring.
they are supposed to honor God in the marriage. Now, but lots of believers, you know, when they come into marriage, they already have this idea
Exactly, that's what I
of
said
marriage
about
from
the
where
lady.
they're coming from and all of that. So they're not thinking that, okay, we're both
Christian
believers.
marriage, oh.
Yeah, it's a threefold cord. We must put God at the center of this. That is what will make the difference. You know, I always try to defend people when someone does something to them and he said he's a Christian. He's a human being. So the people are getting married like human beings. Yes, they profess to be believers, they profess to be Christians, you know, but there's a level of submission that they probably haven't come to in their own Christian walk. You know, I think these things are deeper. That's the angle I'm coming from. When we have these issues of trust and all of that, you should always know that the issues actually run deeper. It actually tells you how much the individuals are submitted to God, first of all. It tells you, because if an individual, me as a Christian, I'm submitted to God, I honor God. You know, it will show in all that I do. So when people say someone doesn't understand and they say they are Christians, I always tell them, relate to them that they are human. These are what human beings do. So for you who is a professing Christian, you must come to this level of submission and surrender to God that it begins to permeate everything you do.
Yeah.
That scripture that says you're waking up, moving around, everyday life is like worship. So everything you do, your career, your marriage, everything, you know that you're submitted, you're surrendered to an extent that it shows in all you do. So Christianity, if we say we are Christians, it is supposed to reflect in everything we do, including marriage and finances. So that when people say Christian marriage, they are Christians, they are married, you understand? We're not bringing the name of Jesus to disrepute, because people are seeing us. We are the ones that say we are Christians. So they are expecting certain standards from us. So that's why people will say, and they say they are Christians. So, and he say he's a pastor, and they say they are believers, because we have professed that we're Christians. So we have told people that we're supposed to be living by certain standards, and they're looking out for those standards. So when they say, the people that are saying that, most likely they also go to church, so they're also supposed to be Christians. You understand? You know, so they are watching us, they are watching you, Christians in marriage. There are certain standards we must live by. So now we're talking about financial intimacy. We need to be financially intimate with our partners. No longer I, but we. So whatever I earn, whatever she earns, it's no longer me. It's no longer I, but we. It's our money. It's our spending. If I go out there and buy a car, we have bought a car. So if we don't agree in buying the car, you see where issues will come in, because she would feel we didn't take the decision jointly. You just walked out there, saw a nice car.
I like surprise car.
No,
I
I
don't
know.
have to agree.
No, I'm not talking
Just
about.
buy me a car. Like, I don't have to
Will you
agree.
keep quiet?
I don't have to agree.
Sometimes we already have as many cars as we need, and then probably a guy is car freak and he goes out there and sees one nice Porsche, and maybe he just closed the deal and he just buys it and comes home, pops champagne, woo, and then the wife is looking at him like, maybe they talked about a financial goal in the next 2 years where they're supposed to put in, and the car was maybe 7 million, and then they need like 15 million for the project. And then he just comes in and he has just bought it because he likes it. Do you see? Those things can really, really create problems. Okay? So, do we have any more? Because we're doing this.
Yeah,
we're spreading
so
this.
I think we're going to end here. It's already 9:45.
Yeah.
So we're going to end here today. There's still a few more that we're going to look at tomorrow.
Yeah.
And look at next tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You know, one important thing that this does, like I talked about my own, I have to come face to face with my truth and tell myself, I like to be extravagant. I like to impress people who are not even impressed. I just like to be in a certain way. I don't know how to say no. I can have 10,000 and like those people say, there's no food in my house. And then someone comes and bends their neck and say, what about? And before they finish, I say, no, don't worry. I don't even let them finish talking, and I just shoot. You understand? And then when I come to the house and my wife is telling me we need to buy this, I'm already getting upset. I beg. Do you understand? Now, I'm inside. I'm not trying to impress her. I just brought home 10K, and as she's talking, I said, okay, no, don't talk, take 10K. When she's talking about what we need, I'm getting upset. Meanwhile, when someone outside is talking about a need, I don't want them to look like I don't have. I just want to, oh, no, I don't have this, take this. That's not the way to live. Do you understand? I had to face my truth and say, okay, being accountable to my wife financially will help us better. Not just also, I know we're talking about it, but it helps me better. It helps me better to know that, okay, we have money somewhere, because I'm not the custodian. Because if it's in my custody, I would have spent it. Now I can't just tell her, give me 10K. She will ask me, what is it for? And I have to explain. What? I'll feel bad. My ego won't let me start telling lies for my own money. It will look like, why am I lying? The money is my own. Why should I now come and take? Maybe I'll not say my mom just wants it, and then tomorrow she will now find out. It's so shameful. So I can't come and start making up stories to collect my money. That makes me learn discipline. You see that it helps. Accountability does help. It brings us to that place where at the end of the day, we even have more. We even have more to spend, more to give, more to invest, more to give our children the best that we're hoping for. You know, when we say marriage is work, it's serious business. These things are work. They are easier said than done, but try it. Little steps. We are giving you 10 suggestions. We have done 3 today. Tomorrow we'll go more, and then the next day we'll finish it. So try these things. We'll talk about praying about it. That's the first one. Pray for wisdom and guidance. Let God, bring God into the mix, so that, it will help. And then secondly, we talked about you should be partners, equal responsibility. I cleared that. Equal responsibility doesn't mean, it doesn't mean equal amount of money, but equal. So both of you are equally responsible for how the money is done. And then number 3, define goals. Define goals. You see the priority. Bring God into it first of all, and then realize that both of you are partners. If you're not partners, you won't sit down to define goals with her. The husband will just sit down there and define goals for his family, which may not go down very well. She's a partner. So bring God into the mix. Realize that you're partners. Accept that you're partners. And then both of you set goals. Long-term goals, short-term goals. It doesn't matter who is bringing in more money, but for how the monies are going to be spent. All right, so we're going to stop there today. Tomorrow we'll go more into financial intimacy. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It's good to be back. The Easter holidays are over. I had an exciting Easter weekend, so she was handling it alone. I appreciate her. I celebrate you. She did a good job, handling this while I was away, and I hope I'm going to be here till the end of this as we round it off. All right, so thank you once again for joining us. Remember, our devotional will soon be ready, so we'll let you know how to pre-order. Most likely by the end of this week, that should be ready so that you can pre-order. So sometime in May, the devotional is going to be out so that you can use it after now, and you know, to be a blessing to your marriage and your relationship. All right, so thank you for joining us. We
thank you very
God.
much, sis.
We thank God for the life.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's so encouraging.
Yes, I saw Hilda. Hilda was here too. Yes, so God's power somewhere. We are late, but it's okay. You can go back and watch the video. Yeah, I appreciate all the singles who have been watching this. I go out there and I hear lots of testimonies and all of that. So thank you once again for joining. Will you say a word of prayer for us?
Father, thank you. We give you praise for everything you're doing in our lives and in the lives of the people out there that are watching. Lord, we pray that just as you're bringing transformation here, you're bringing transformation also in these homes in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
This 30 days will bring testimonies. It will birth miracles in our lives and in the lives of the people that are part of this in the name of Jesus. Yeah. Thank you, Father, Lord, for helping us through our finances, just as we're talking about it. Thank you, Father, Lord. We give you praise and worship in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. You can go back and watch the video over and over again. Remember our YouTube channel. What's the name? Love and Devotion. Love and Devotion. Okay. Love and Devotion. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be posting videos.
All the videos,
more videos. It will be a blessing to you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Same time, same station. I see you. Thank you.